Hello, 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 hello. How are you guys doing? Finally, the D-Day is here, and I am excited. I am honored. I am humbled to have our own very special guest today on my first episode. I'm really excited. So, yes, hi. As you come in, please let us know where you're watching from. Let us know what it's up with you. If you're excited to be with us, to share with us, and please share as you come on. Please make sure you share because it's going to be very, very impactful session. And a lot of people are going to have to go with lots of knowledge. And I have my pen and paper. I hope you have your pen and paper to take notes because I'm here to learn as always. And please let us know where you're watching from as you come in. We're just going to wait for about 2-3 minutes just so we can get everybody come on in to learn and to share with us today. As you come in, introduce yourself. Don't be in the background because we will not know who is watching, right? And I've learned that in order to get yourself seen, you have to speak up. You have to make people know that you are there because I don't know we are there if you don't comment. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm excited about today. I'm excited, yes, about the journey that we are all going to be taking from now on every month. So, yes, if you're excited, share for somebody to watch. If you're excited, get a pen and paper because you know what? She is here to inspire, she is here to motivate, she is here to just marvel you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Again, it's Belinda Asahchop. You all know me. I'm your confidence and clarity coach. And I call myself a transformation coach because I have been transformed by the grace of God. And where I am today because God has taken me through hurdles and He has brought me to this very place. Hi, Caroline. Thank you so much for coming. And I am happy as well because I'm starting a new program. And this is the first episode called The Fulfill Moms in Action. Because you know what? As moms, we put ourselves to the side. As moms, we feel like we have to take care of everybody but ourselves. I want you guys to meet moms who are doing it and making it and still running the home front and still being successful. So that is why I've decided every month I'm going to bring you guys someone special to motivate, inspire, and get us taking action. Because you know what? We dream, 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 but we never take action. But it's time we start taking action. If 2020 has taught us something, it's that there's no time to wait. It's just now. Start now and start doing it. So today I'm going to be reading a little bit about our guest for today. Um, Today, we have a very inspiring story of a successful multi-business entrepreneur, speaker, sales marketing pitch writer, and a TV personality who, along with her husband, went on to found Hang-O-Matic. That is a business that they run together. First business, a popular hanging tool sold in major retail stores throughout North America and internationally. Can you beat that? Wow. She also has featured herself in several reality shows. She is a personality that you want to be around, that you want to listen to her speak. She has been on Bravo. She has been on Entrepreneur Elevator Pitch, and she has been on ABC, a guest on a lot of forums that she is going to tell us as she comes in. So I want you at this time to meet our very own energetic, passionate, and beautiful Miss Karina Rabin. I hope I called it correctly. Please help me with that. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm amazed. I'm just happy. I'm honored to have you here. Thank you so much. As you guys all come in, please continue to share. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Bella. Thank you. Thank you, Karina. Thank you for, with your busy schedule, you accepted to come on this interview, and I appreciate you. So just
Oh,
say
thank
something
you.
to our guests.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you for that introduction. I'm going to start crying. I sometimes forget where I've been and how many things I have done in my life. And I'm only 42, so it's just crazy. So thank you. Thank you
Wow.
for reminding me.
Thank you. I'm honored and I'm humble and honored to be here with you and doing this. And I just want to learn from you as well throughout your journey. So my first question is, tell us something about yourself and your family.
Well, first of all, I immigrated to America in 1989. So I was born in Latvia, which is former USSR. And my husband and I met online, and we moved in together within 24 hours.
Wow.
And we have two beautiful boys, and we've been together since the day we met. Yeah.
Wow.
He
How
was
old?
um, he was my evening date that never ended.
And wow, you guys are still together. Two boys. Can you tell us your age if you don't mind?
Yeah, the boys are 7 and 4. And
Wow.
after the first date, we were engaged 4 months later, and then we were married 4 months after that. So
Awesome.
yeah,
Awesome.
so we were January 5th through October 12th is when we got married.
Love
Yeah,
at first sight.
yeah.
You guys have heard it. Love at first sight. So
Thank
sweet. Thank
you.
you. Bella. Thank you. Yeah. So my question is, as an entrepreneur mom, have you always thought about that? Have you always wanted to be an entrepreneur from like your young age? Because a lot of people don't know their purpose. A lot of people ask, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. So can you tell us about your background, how you got to where you
Sure. I've always wanted to have a .com business. I've always wanted to have, an online business. And right before I met my husband, I started a blog. It's called Is He Serious? And it's not up anymore, but the website was called isheserious.com. And the blog was about going on dates. If you remember the TV show Sex in the City,
I think so, but not very familiar with it.
it was in New York. So I went on a different date every single night. And then I would go home, call my girlfriend, and say something like, can you believe he, like one guy said, I'm not at liberty to pay for this lunch. Like, is he serious? Like, did he just really say, I'm not at liberty to pay for this lunch? And we went to a fast food restaurant, and our bill was $30, maybe even less. And before our date started, when I met him on Match.com, and I thought he was the most hottest guy I've ever gone out with. But when I met him for lunch, I couldn't help but say,
Where is the guy that I met, right?
I'm like, you don't look like that anymore.
Right?
And so that's how I came up with my first business, which was called isheserious.com. And it was a blog. My intention was to obviously grow the blog, grow my following, and then make money with advertising on my blog. And I started the blog September of 2008. And then I met my husband January 5th. I'm sorry, I started the blog September 2007, and then I met my husband January 5th, 2008. And as soon as I saw my husband, because I even prepped him to have a bad date. My
Wow.
intention was to have a bad date because now this blog was going to be a success. And I've had so many bad dates that my husband was just going to be another bad date. And every time he would email me or call me, I would say things in order to make sure this is going to be another bad date. You with me? And when I saw him for the first time, I was like, shit, there goes my business.
Wow. Wow.
Because he was very attractive and we fell for each other right away. And so there was no, is he serious? There wasn't that. I didn't have anything bad to say. And so I ended up, dating my husband right away. And so I wasn't going on any more dates. So I didn't have, I ran out of, is he serious stories from all my past dates. And I did get reached out by a producer who wanted to create a reality TV show, and they were going to call it easyserious.com. And
Oh,
unfortunately, whatever happened with that, but they never followed through. And so I had to eventually stop easyserious.com. But that was my first business. So I've always wanted to do something online.
okay.
So my husband and I got married October of 2008. And then, um, so I met him September 2007. I was going to have this blog business. The blog business went to crap in February because we, fell in love. And then we get married October of 2008, same year. And then November of 2008 was our first business. So we went to business together. It was a wedding rental business. And so it was our first online business. So I still kind of got what I wanted.
Okay.
That makes sense. And then from there, we had the wedding rental business, and then we added on a photo booth rental business, which was also online. So yes, I've always had
Wanted
the
to. Okay, and you've moved through those business. Like, are you still doing that, or you've moved from that business to another business? Because I know, like, a lot of people, in order to find their purpose, they move from one thing to the other. Like you said, you started with Easy Serious. The intention was to do business. That didn't work. You moved to the next one. So you moved to wedding renter and photo shoot. So are you still in that business, or how did you transition to from those businesses to where you are now, which is where the businesses that you've been running in the last years?
So the wedding rental business we ended up having for 10 years. And then the photo booth business we sold. The wedding rental business we sold to a person who got us into business.
Oh, wow.
We met someone online because we didn't know what we were doing with this business. And so we met someone online who helped us get going, which I thought was interesting because I don't want to teach anyone right now how to do my business because that, you don't want to tell me how you do your business, right? And so lost you. So we ended up selling the photo booth business because then the 2 years we ran it, I got pregnant, and so we were doing 200 to 300 events a year.
Wow.
And that's every weekend, and so we had staff of 6 people, and they were working every weekend. So after a while, no one really wanted to work the weekends so much, And so we ended up selling the photo booth business, and then you see behind me, Hangomatic was, so first it was the Happy Hoopa, then it was Happy Photo Booth, then it was my son who was born, and then Hangomatic was the third business. And my husband invented the Hangomatic when he was in college.
Wow.
So that was always cooking. That's been cooking since 2000. And we didn't actually roll it out until 2014. So it took 14 years to get that business going.
So there is always a process in every business. Don't give up. Just keep going through and doing what you have to do. Be consistent and focused, and you will get to it. And today you are successful and you have another child. And I wanted to take you back to your childhood because reading about you, I read a story about you, how you came to America when you were 10 years old and your parents were always working. You wanted a different lifestyle because you grew up like that hustle life and you wanted something different, that you ended up doing tip sales at grocery stores. Can you tell us a little bit about that story and how it's connected to make you who you are today?
Um,
I hope I didn't break through some memories that you try to push aside.
well, you probably don't know that my dad died in a 8-car pileup car accident.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And my mom died. She survived the car accident, but then she died 10 years. Oh, I need a tissue. She
Um,
died 10 years later from kidney disease. And after she died, I got pregnant with my son. And when my mom died, my two uncles died 12 months apart from her death. So I had three deaths 3 years in a row,
wow.
while I and my cousin had a birth. So we had a birth and a death in the exact same week, 12 months apart.
Hmm.
Yeah. Which is really weird. And, growing up in Russia was just, I didn't know it at the time because I had fun.
Right.
I was 10 when we left. I had fun, but learning from my parents after how much they struggled. And I've been home alone since I was 6 years old. I've locked my dog that we stole from someone. Technically, we didn't steal the dog. He just got lost and we found him. And I don't know if he had a collar or anything. And whether or not he had a collar, we didn't have a phone. So it really didn't even matter. We didn't have a phone. We had 3 channels on the TV. My parents used to tell me I didn't have a car seat. So it wasn't like living in America, right, in 89. So we basically stole this dog, and my parents would go to work. My dad was a drummer. He was a drummer. He was in a band. I had a really cool dad. And my mom worked like with accounting or something. Anyway, so they were never home. I was home alone, and I would lock my dog in the room that I was in, tie him to a chair so he wouldn't leave me, and just be by myself. And when we moved to America, nothing really changed. My parents always had to hustle. They always had to, put food on the table. So I think I grew up this way, watching my parents work so much, except I feel very blessed that even though I work a lot, but I'm home. And so I could take breaks. And it's not like I'm in an office where, I'm not with my kids. So whatever work I do, I could be doing it next to my kids. So I feel very blessed that they have me, even though I'm still working. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
So
good.
I think the hustle comes from, we're really poor in Russia, living in like a 600 square foot apartment. We didn't have a phone. I remember begging for chocolate because my mom went to see her brother in America, and she came back with some chocolate, but she wouldn't give it to us, my sister and I. And then I also have celiac disease. And at the time, no one knew what celiac disease was. I also have psoriasis, and no one knew what psoriasis was. And so I spent a lot of time in a nursing home as a kid. So I've been in and out. It was a hospital, but it was more of a nursing home because I was able to walk around and go outside, like have visitors like a nursing home.
Wow.
With other kids. And everyone was in there for something. No one really knew what they were there for. I remember I had an endoscopy when they put the camera down your throat, and I was awake for that.
Wow.
And I remember it right now, what it felt like to lay on that bed while they shoved the camera down my throat.
Wow. Sounds
so
crazy.
So it was a really, I was like arguing with somebody once in a Facebook group because I shared this experience, and people were like, they did put people out, in 1980, it was 1984 probably. I was born in 78. It was probably 1984. It was a communist country. Like, it was not in America. Like, did not have the same resources as we have here.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. So it was really hard for me. So and I still find it challenging sometimes because, you know, I want that American dream, even though I feel I already have it, but it's not like what my mom used to describe what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And the American dream is to, you know, be happy,
Yeah, of course.
job, and have children and be with your family. That's the American dream. But the way she used to describe it, that one day I'm gonna have this huge house. She would say, I'm gonna have this huge house, and she's gonna live in another wing. And she's gonna watch my kids living in another wing.
Wow.
And we don't have a huge house with a wing. But I've seen houses with wings, you know. And now I don't even know if I would ever even want that. I'd rather have my American dream.
I like that. My American dream. And
Yeah.
to our viewers, what is your American dream? You can make your own American dream. We grow up all the time being conditioned to, oh, if you go to school, if you get a good job, if you have a family, and if you're living a good life, then that's your American dream. But it's different for everybody. And for me, I feel like living a life of purpose, giving back in any way, whatever you have to do to give back is living an American dream, is living a purposeful life that you can leave as a legacy. And I'm sure you can attest to that with, like, even with the challenges that you go through as a mom, you're still willing and ready to help. And that's my next question for you. What are some of the challenges that you go through as a mom and as entrepreneur? How do you help? How do you put those two together to have a balance that it doesn't drive you crazy or that you don't have to give up one for the other?
Yeah. I mean, it's something I struggle with every day, to be honest with you. Because now I have my fourth business. So now I run, so I sold the first two businesses. I sold the wedding business. I sold the photo booth business. So now I still have the Hangomatic. And then after Hangomatic, I created another business called The One Pitch, where I help other business owners write their sales pitch, because we always have to pitch other people. And so I've always had clients come in and out where I would always write, but then sometimes people would hire me to pitch for them. So if someone doesn't have time to do the pitching, I do it. So right now I have one customer who I still pitch. So I just got her products into Macy's. Okay, my product is in Home Depot, Target, Container Store, Hobby Lobby, QVC, and then I got her product into Macy's, and now I'm going after Walgreens and Ross and Cole, whatever, right? So it's always pitching. And then on top of that, as if that's not enough, I also created something called Eat Your Way to Fit, which is my baby. I coach moms how to eat healthy to get their body that they want. So there's no more of this, like, I used to be overweight, and so I used to always say, I'm fat, do I look fat? My parents always would mention that I was fat. So the word fat is like ingrained in my head. And I have to really twist my tongue to say a nicer word than that. But that is how I grew up. I used to figure skate as a kid. My sister used to figure skate as a kid. And in Russia, you were fat. That's it. If you're too fat, you can't do gymnastics, you can't do figure skating. And so we've heard this horrible word since the day I was born. Okay, my sister is 8 years older than me. So I've been, so the day I was born, I heard. So what I do is I coach women in the group and I work out with them live. So now I have to show up at a certain time to work out with them live. So it's not like I'm just going to wake up in the morning and start my day after I feed my kids breakfast and get them dressed and brush their teeth. I have to show up and I had to find the time to fit all this in.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so the way I was able to manage all of it is I go to bed at 8 o'clock at night. The kids go to bed at 8 o'clock at night. I wake up at 4:30 to get this face on. Because my mom also used to be very, my mom was very shallow. And if you weren't done up, then I heard it. And so there's no way I'm going to go on Facebook Live without makeup. I won't even go take the trash out without makeup on because I can hear her from up above. Where are you going?
Talking in your ears, right?
So I wake up at 4:30 in the morning. My husband wakes up at 3:30 in the morning to work out. So that way he goes to our basement gym. We say we go to the gym. We're home. So he goes to the basement first, and then I meet him there 5 o'clock. And then I turn on my cameras, and then I go live for about an hour with my group.
Wow.
Yeah. And then after that, I have to shower, get ready, make my coffee, have my protein shake, wake up my kids, get them all ready. And then sometimes I take them to school. If we're homeschool, then we start homeschool. And in between, because when we were home on quarantine in March, I had a really hard time managing it all because it was so new.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. So now I make them do jumping jacks, and I started to teach them what are muscles and what is fat. Because how old are your kids?
My kids 1 and 3.
Okay, so are you hearing from the 3-year-old? I want snack.
Yes, and she has to pick her own clothes. I don't want this. It's like we're competing with each other. So we're getting to that stage where we're trying to figure out everything. Mommy, I'm hungry. Mommy, I this. Mommy, this. By the time you said, she's looking for the next thing to the next thing. Yes, I can hear you. Mhm.
Right. So what was really annoying for me is to hear I want snack. It's because it's not just I want snack, it's I want snack. And I have two of them, two boys singing snack. And in March, I did give them snack, and I gave them snack a lot. And then I gave myself a snack, and I gave myself a couple of drinks. And I decided to get on that scale, and I saw myself gaining weight. And I decided to put my kids on a scale, and they also gained weight. And my husband said to me, "It's your fault.
Uh-oh.
You gave them snack. You give them chips, and you give them Cheez-Its, and you give them goldfish, and you give them cookies, and you give them all the shit." And I was like, "Oh my God, you're right." And he was right. And so from that day, I just completely changed my life. Again, I had to teach them that snacks make us fat and chicken gives us muscles. Because that's the truth.
Choices, right?
I don't sugarcoat. I'm not going to sugarcoat because my mom didn't sugarcoat. And so I'm not going to try and figure out how to say it any different or how to say it nicer, because that's the damn truth. What is inside our body if we eat too much? Fat. Right? I have kidney disease too, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
My mom had kidney disease and she died, and her two brothers had kidney disease and they died. And guess what? They were all overweight.
I'm so sorry. Like, wow. Thank you so much for sharing like part of your life and just being outright with what you've experienced and what you've gone through, because You never know who's listening and being inspired by just opening up yourself and showing up. Sometimes people don't get results, or people feel like they don't have anything to give back, but they have stories to tell, and that story can motivate just one person. So thank you, and I just acknowledge you for talking about your parents too. I know that really brought a lot of emotions for you, but I appreciate you, and just, yeah. And I just want to shout out to our guests. Thank you to our viewers. Thank you all so much for being here with us. Thank you, Karina, again for sharing part of yourself. If you have a question for her as a mom, as a business person, especially how to write your elevator speech, please, this is an opportunity that you can make use of, because she said she writes a lot of pitches for people that want their businesses to be seen, want their businesses to go out there. And I know it's something I struggle with. A lot of people struggle with selling. A lot of people struggle with putting their message together. A lot of people struggle with how to coin their message so it can attract the right person, which is my next question for Karina. Can you just give us some tips as business owners and moms, how to give a pitch that will attract the right people, coin the message in a way that the right people will come, and it's not selling. People don't like to be sold to, but if
Right.
you give the message rightly, they'll you attract them.
Yes. The biggest thing, I'm trying to go on my computer in case we have questions so I can see them. The biggest thing that you are doing wrong, and I'm talking to you, is you are not telling your audience why.
Yeah.
That is the biggest thing that every business person does not do. I
Mm-hmm.
have, so I grew my LinkedIn to 11,000 followers because that's where I was doing the sales pitch writing and also pitching Hangomatic. LinkedIn is huge. And ever since quarantine, my inbox gets filled, and it's just so bad. I used to try and pitch back to help them rewrite that pitch, but no one wants to hear themselves how they sound.
Right.
All I get is, are you tired of not making money? No, I'm not tired. I got 8 hours of sleep, so no, I'm not tired. No one's tired of anything. If anyone is unhappy, they're frustrated,
Yeah.
they're challenged, they're disappointed, they're angry. No one is tired. And if you ever write in an opening of Facebook post or LinkedIn email or sales email or what have you, and you start with a question, you're done. This is not 1990s. Not that I knew how to write in 1990s, but this is not the early 2000s where we always wrote a question that is gone and over.
Yeah.
So if you're going to write to someone today, or if you're going to create your next Facebook post with a question, I am telling you right now, stop and edit it and start with why.
Yeah.
I get very heated
Talking
and
about
very excited when it comes to sales and sales writing, because it's so important of how to get attention, and it's all about the why.
yes.
And my why might be different than your why, so you have to find the most relatable why that everyone will relate and understand you.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. So you
Like,
start with your why. Your why is very important, because
yeah.
nobody wants to answer a question, right? And
Like, I'll
nobody
give
is tired.
Well, I'll give you another example. When you write your stuff, give me an example of how you write your sales message or Facebook posts.
So
What do you say to get attention?
usually I'll just go like to amazing moms out there. How are you guys doing? Hope you guys
Nobody cares.
right.
Who cares? I mean, that's how people. And I'm being aggressive like that with you
Mm-hmm.
because that's what people read. Because it's
Right.
like, how many times have you gotten into an elevator with someone? This was my biggest pet peeve. I've hated since I was in the corporate world. I used to work on Wall Street. I ran for my life in 9/11. And I was in the elevator every single morning, and somebody would say, "Hi, how are you? Good, how are you?" That was it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
one time someone said, "Oh, I had a really bad day." I'm like, "Oh God, I didn't want to hear that."
But like, wait, do you just start talking about your why without even like exchanging greetings, right? You start somewhere before you start talking about your why. If somebody
I
would ask,
start with
what
my
do you
why.
do? Or if I were to ask, what do you do? Tell me about yourself.
So when someone says to me, "What do you do?" I start off with, um, I think you would agree that sometimes marriages have challenges. You know, people get married, and then a couple of years later, they might have some challenges. Maybe they have some things that have changed with each person. Sometimes people don't grow together; they grow apart. So what I do is I help the mom to find herself again and to get herself back because she's been taking care of others for so long that I help her figure out how to take care of herself so she can have that marriage that she had when she first got into it.
Okay, so that's stating the problem and then giving them the solution. Also,
Isn't that wow?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. But what if I said I'm a weight loss coach?
Nobody wants to agree that they're fat, like you were saying, fat, right? Yeah.
Right. Like, what's a weight loss coach?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't just help with weight loss. It's not weight loss, it's mindset, it's
Right.
education, it's teaching them how to eat. And
Mm-hmm.
now it's look from A to Z. I even watch what they eat to make sure that I'm watching what you eat. So when you pick up that cookie, you remember, wait a minute, Karina's gonna so maybe I shouldn't eat that today.
Karina is gonna be seeing me. Wow.
Right? So never start your messages with how are you? And if you
Mm-hmm.
ever email someone, do not start with I hope this email finds you well.
Which is something we're all guilty of. That's why I say it's something I struggle with, especially in sales. When it comes to sales, you were just saying that the people that you coach, you make sure that you're educating them, you're teaching them, you're making sure that they're following the steps and you're seeing what they're eating. And my coach does the same thing. It's like you're in their ears, right? Telling them, do sales, do sales. Like, what are you selling? Why are you not asking for sales? People are waiting for the right message, but it's like the right message is not coming, so they're just viewing and enjoying what you're saying and going along. And like, what do you think are some of the challenges? Why do people find it very difficult to do sales pitch or to talk about their businesses in a way that can attract the right people?
Because they're scared the other person is not going to respond.
Do you find that true though?
Yes. I sometimes afraid to message someone because I'm afraid they might not respond. And I still have to have a conversation with myself and remind myself, well, I have two things I can do. Number one, I could reach out and they don't write back, or I don't reach out and they don't write back.
Right.
So door number one is exactly the same as door number two.
That's
But
true.
what if I took the risk and stopped psyching myself out and reached out? And if they don't respond, there's two things of the reason why they don't respond. The first answer of why someone doesn't respond to you, and I promise this to you, this is 88% of the time, is because they have no idea what you want.
So
They have no idea what you said. They have no idea what you want. Because you started off with, I hope this email finds you well. My name is Belinda, and I'm a coach for blah, 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 blah. And I would like to know if you want to get on a 10-minute call. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, it does.
What is it that you do? You're a coach for moms.
Yes, I am.
What does that mean?
So somebody who doesn't understand, right?
So I don't understand what you do. So if you're pitching someone, you have to tell them the solution of what they're going to get.
Yeah.
If they work with you.
That's right.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank
like
you.
If I'm going to pitch somebody Hang-O-Matic, they're going to be able to hang their picture straight. So now they know why I'm reaching out, because I'm telling them they're going to have their pictures hung straight.
Thank you so much for that. Like, I really appreciate it because, like I said, it's something I struggle with, and I'm sure a lot of people do too. And just branding themselves, people are scared. Like you said, they're worried. People might not respond to them. People might not give them the answer that they want. And people don't like to be turned down, right? People don't, even when I approached you, I wasn't sure if you were going to say yes to come to my interview, but I'm glad I did, because you know what? Maybe the third door happened, that you accepted to come and share your experience. And I'm sure we've learned something. And I'll just read a few comments from Francis. Dr. Francis, thank you for coming on. That's my co-host. We host our shows together. Yes, he said a powerful tip. Yeah, state the problem and then state the solution before you introduce yourself. And Caroline, thank you too. Thank you so much. Start your writing with your why. Find a relatable why. Awesome. And Hannah, thank you. It really shows that you're passionate about what you do. Yes, the way you were talking about elevator pitch is, yeah, it shows how passionate you are and how you really want people to succeed when you support them and when you help them. Thank you for that. And Caroline again said, state the problem and give them the solution. Yes, state the problem and give them the solution. Yes, as moms, we know that we are always struggling. We know that we don't have time. We take care of everybody. We push ourselves to the side. But we're here to encourage you, motivate you to start taking action, because it's only you who can take yourself to the next level. And Francis again said, Karina, what is the best way to handle rejection while pitching? Good question. Thank you for that.
What is the best way to handle rejection?
Yeah.
So meaning, like, if you call someone, message someone, and they don't write back?
Yeah, or maybe they said they're not interested.
And message them again a week later. Did you hear that?
No, sorry.
I said the way I handle rejection is I message them again a week later.
Oh, a week later. Okay.
And then I message them again 2 weeks later.
But what about
again 3 weeks later? But if they, like I said, if they didn't respond to you, it's because they didn't understand what you want.
Okay.
Maybe let me give you a better example.
Okay.
Do you know who the person that asked the question?
Yes, Francis. We do our shows together.
Okay. What does he do?
He's a business and an auto coach.
He's a
business coach, and yeah, he also helps.
That's your problem number one. Business coach. What's a business coach? If you were to message me and say, like, I get a lot of these silly messages on LinkedIn. Oh, I see we have a lot of connections in common. I'd like to connect with you and see how we can collaborate. About what? Just because we have connections together? Okay, and I got 5,000 friends on Facebook. I bet you and I have 80 connections together. Do you think I know who those 80 people are? No. Do you think you know who my connections are? No. You're just saying something stupid to try and get my attention, right? So if you were to message me and say, hi, I see that you work at Hangomatic. I'm a business coach. I'd like to see if you have 10 minutes to connect to discuss your business. Oh, yeah? And what business is that? Did you even read my profile? What kind of business are you in? Because a business coach is like saying, trying to think. It's like, I'm a lifestyle coach.
Yeah, okay. Wait, let's read what he just
It
responded.
needs to be more specific.
Yeah, he said, I help business leaders write a profitable book within 9 weeks.
Oh, so you write books.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. So do you see how we're already getting a little deeper? So he's not
Yes.
just a business coach. He's a business coach who's able to write somebody
A
who's able
profitable book.
to help someone write a book, right? So
Yeah.
I've always wanted to write my Hangomatic story, my Hangomatic book, and I have no idea where to start, how to do it, right? So if that's what you want to do, help people write their book or write their story, because it's not a book. First, it's a story that ends up printed, that becomes a book, but it's a story. So
Yeah.
first, you have to research the person you want to pitch. Number one, you have to. So when you pitch that person, the first thing you have to say, something that's relatable to that person. So for example, if you were to pitch me, you would say, hey, Karina, read your bio on LinkedIn, love your story about the Hangomatic. Have you ever thought about having your story written? Oh my God.
Right.
You take the time
To
to
read.
read about me or Google my name and learn that I do have a story, right? Have you ever considered what that person does? That's your why. Are you reaching out?
Right.
So if you're reaching out and not being specific and like hitting the hammer on that nail,
And just telling it the way it is.
yeah. So the other way I can best describe it, because I used to have a challenge explaining what I do, of why I write anyone's sales pitch. And the best way to explain it is, Belinda, what if I was to say to you right now, I want to put you on a treadmill. You want to go on a treadmill?
No.
Okay. And what if I put you on that treadmill and I said to you, now you need to stay on that treadmill for the next 90 minutes?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't want to.
Someone receives your email and they don't understand, it's like you just put them on a treadmill. And they're reading this long message that shouldn't be more than 150 characters. And it's like they're on the treadmill. They just don't want to be on that treadmill. That's what it feels like when someone reads your message, and that's the reason they don't respond.
Awesome. Thank you for all the tips. Thank you. Like I said, I'm learning about my people. And I think I'm definitely gonna have to re-evaluate the way I write my messages myself, because you know what? We are all in this to learn. We, as much as we want to create value, we want to make money out of it. And I'm sure you can agree with that. What, like with money, you can do so many things. You can give back, you can change your life, you can do the things that you want to do. And my question for you is, most often I talk a lot about abundance and prosperity and fulfillment. So what does fulfillment as a mom means to you, as a business owner, as a wife, as somebody who is out there making a difference?
Well, for me, I feel fulfilled because I really feel like I can do it all. And like I have my kids and I don't carpool with anyone. I want to drive them to school. I want to pick them up from school. So I feel like I created my life and my business in the way that I can still be with my family and I can still find the time to work out and I can still find the time to do Hangomatic. And most importantly, I feel like my business is helping someone do what they didn't know how to do. So whether it's helping someone eat better or whether it's writing someone's sales pitch who didn't know
How
that
to?
their sales pitch sucks. Because
Mhm.
that one sales pitch doesn't just change that one message. It already teaches you how to create your Facebook captions, your LinkedIn captions, how to write your Facebook DMs, or how to send an email. And most importantly, next time somebody says to you, "What do?" You will no longer say, "I'm a business coach," and you will give the value of what you do. Because when
Right,
someone asks you what you do, that is your opportunity to go for the kill,
right, right.
right? So if someone says, "I'm a hairstylist," like, "Oh, you're just another hairdresser," or this person could say, "I make people feel good by cutting their hair, by styling their hair to the way they want, so when they leave my chair or my salon, they feel good about themselves."
Great. What a way to put
Like,
it.
oh my God, let's make an appointment. I want to feel good about myself.
Right. That's true. That's a very good way to put it. So what I'm hearing is, like, with fulfillment, it doesn't mean that you have it all figured out. And it doesn't mean you have all the money in your account. It just means that you have everything where you want it. And most importantly is that you have that time to spend with your family and take care of your kids so you don't miss anything in their lives. So my our viewers, you've heard her say that. And that is exactly what I've been saying, that for me, it's about like freeing up that time, and you run your business at your own time, right? You don't have to go sit in the office, which
Right.
what I admire about my business too, that just having that time and working around my kids' schedule is just something I encourage moms to do. Have something on the side, grow it, because Karina will agree with us that it's taken her all these years to be where she is. She didn't just start and she's where she is. She built it. She was consistent. She took one step at a time, right? And then she's where she is. She feels fulfilled, and her kids are taking care of. Her business is doing very well, and she is doing very well. And like with some of the challenges, how do you deal with challenges when they come up in your business? Because the one thing with business is not starting, it's about keeping it, because people tend to just losing, or people tend to give up when challenges come as they start a business. Oh, it's easier to just start a job and I will go and just make my course and do this. Everything is straightforward with my work. But with business, you have to figure out everything. You are the CEO, you are the worker, you are the employee, you are this, you are that, you're the secretariat. So you have to do all this thing in your business. So what are some of the challenges? So how do you deal with them as a tip to new business owners or to people who are already in business, so they can just know how to run their businesses and not give up, close up their business to say it's not working?
All right. Well, that is the best question you've asked this entire session, because that is a constant challenge in my head, because we are so filled with social media in your face of other people having millions of followers, And sometimes I see all these other fitness influencers and get 28 million followers and they get 19,000 comments. And I'm like, I only got 9 likes. Seriously, you know how long I spent writing that caption, and all you did is put 9 likes? Like, does anyone even read what I said? Like, why am I spending the time writing so much value if you're only going to hit like? Right? And then, like, I have to remind myself, those people, first of all, majority of them are not married, do not have children, do not have multiple businesses.
Mm-hmm.
They've been on Instagram longer.
Right.
So stop looking at those people. My kid is 7. He didn't just born and he was 7. It took 7 years for me to grow my child for him to be who he is today.
Yes, of course.
Started in 2000, and we finally got the balls to go to a trade show in 2014. 2014 to finally show it to somebody. 14 years. So these new businesses are not gonna grow overnight. And I have to, because I have this conversation every single day with myself, I have a notebook where I write down what I want. I write down the things I have that I don't have. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I believe in The Secret. I believe in gratitude. And so I remind myself, okay, I'm so grateful for the 120 people I have in my group. I am so grateful for the new followers I'm going to get today on Instagram. I am so grateful for TikTok. I was able to get almost 50,000 followers there. So I'm not such a loser. I did get in early. You know, don't look at the people on Instagram. And I remind myself, Karina, my parents moved from Russia. This is not overnight. I gained weight when I was pregnant. No one loses weight overnight. Rome wasn't built in a day. So when you want to quit, because I recently had a conversation with a girl who's been on a diet and she's like, I don't see results. But have you tried something new or something different? Right? So
strategy.
Right. You can't keep doing the same thing that's not working.
Mm-hmm.
Now try something else.
That's right.
And if you feel like giving up and you don't want to try something else, I'm telling you, go get that pen and paper and write it down, because nothing happens overnight. You go to bed and it takes 8 hours for the night to happen for you to wake up in the morning. Nothing is with a snap of a finger. Nothing.
Right.
Okay. Right. It even takes time to microwave food we eat.
Right.
Okay. Nothing happens fast. Nothing.
No.
And business is a funnel, like a beer funnel or a cone. The more you put into the funnel, as soon as it gets filled, then bloop, comes out.
Right.
You have to keep filling it. And you have to keep filling it with value.
True.
Not to you, to the person who is watching you. Does that make sense?
It does. And just like you said, invest in yourself, right? So in order to put that value, you have to invest in yourself. You have to know what you're doing. And like, I like the fact that you just talk about a lot of the things that we compete a lot. We're like, oh, I put my post today, nobody liked it. Like, you nailed everything. Because like for me, when I was starting, I had those negative talks, and I was like, oh, nobody's gonna like me. I've never been a coach before. My oldest daughter is just 3 years old. People are gonna be like, oh, when did she even be a mom that she's talking about moms? Like, all these things. But I've just learned to take one step at a time, be consistent. And I tell people that the fact that I say fulfill mom doesn't mean that I have it all figured out, because I still struggle a lot with my kids. I still figure out ways on how to have an understanding with them. And I've just been talking about surrender, as you said, talking about putting it down and just being grateful for the journey and the time that you are in. You said you like it took 14 years for your business to your hangomatic to take to the next stage or to get to where it is today. So
No, it took 14 years to start.
see, 14 years
It
to
took 14 years to get it to be successful.
see
So
that.
4 years to get into Home Depot.
Mm-hmm. So that's the thing. I think sometimes we just all want like drive-through miracles that if I start today, I should start getting all the followers, I should start getting all the business, I should start getting everything that I want in my business. If I want $1 million in my business, I should get it tomorrow. It doesn't happen that way. It takes time to build it. As we round up, if you have any questions, please just send them in for Karina. We're just going to round up as I ask one more question. And thank you so much to our viewers. Thank you for those who are commenting. I'm just going to read on
Sure.
the comments. Be your own competitor. Thank you, Dr. Francis. Focus on your improvement rather than what others are doing. Powerful point. Yes. What others are doing will never take you anywhere. Self-talks and gratitude. Thank you, Bella, for that. Wanting wanting it quick is pushing yourself to quit. That's so true. Because when it doesn't happen, you're discouraged and then you want to quit. Fulfilled, having the tools in your toolbox to be happy. That's right. To do the things that you want
Sorry.
to do the things that you
Oh,
want to
you might want to pause until this stops. I get telemarketing calls on my computer. Do you hear that?
That's okay.
Okay, it's done.
And Hannah said, yes, everything takes time. Yes, it does take time. It just takes time. And then one of the other question that I wanted to ask is we ask about how do you cope? We ask about oh okay, we didn't answer. So we ask about your challenges, and then I just wanted to say just a few more words for our viewers who are watching as we go off. Like, what are some of the things that you want to tell them to encourage them to keep them going, and what has taken you to where you are? Because all these TV shows and all these programs that you've appeared on, it didn't just happen overnight. I'm sure you had to look for them. I'm sure
Right.
you had to send in, yeah. And maybe I should ask that question, like, how did you get on all these reality TV shows that we see on your bio?
Google.
So you reach in, or did they contact you? Because I know
Google. I Google for reality TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
So what I do a lot when I want something, I literally type those words in Google. Reality TV show. Well, my husband's an inventor. Inventor reality TV show. Business reality TV show. Mom reality TV show. Whatever comes to mind, because I'm the one thing I cannot do is turn off my brain. So I'm always thinking like,
Something.
what should I do? Like now I'm trying to get to 100,000 on TikTok. What TikTok should I do? I look at other TikToks that are funny that I can reinvent, redo, so I'm always, my wheels are always turning. But so that's how I got on those TV shows. Sometimes I'll look on LinkedIn. Sometimes I'll search on Facebook. I'll search hashtags on Instagram. All these TV shows, when they want to cast, they're out there sharing that they're casting.
Okay.
And so I look for castings. I added almost every single person that works at Shark Tank.
Wow.
Go on LinkedIn, type in Bravo, and just go connect, because I need to be seen. In order for you to be successful, you need to be seen.
That's
you need
right.
To, right? So you know, if you feel rejected, or when I feel rejected, I just come back harder, because for me it's like, do you know who I am? And then I'm gonna do it again. I've been bullied 3 times in my life. So what do? Let them kick me down, or get up and
keep going?
Revenge back. Okay, because I've been dumped for being fat. I've been dumped for having short hair. And what do I want to do? I want to go back, and I'll go on Facebook and find all those people to see, well, let's see who you married now, honey. Because I lost that weight. Right?
That's right.
So
sorry, we lost you. Hello? Oh, sorry, we lost you for a second. Oh yeah.
Okay. Do you know what I'm saying? So when somebody rejects me, if somebody kicks me down, if someone says something bad about me, I come back.
Okay.
Because that's my way of fighting through the noise.
True.
Because who's going to be the stronger person? The one that kicked, or the one that came back? And especially if you have children. Does your business partner have children?
Yes, he does.
Does he have girls?
1.
I'm going to start crying again.
Yes, 3. 1 girl. Yes, 2 boys, 1 girl.
Well, you can teach your girl this, because that's what my dad taught me. If you want to call him, call him. Because what's the worst that will happen is he won't answer. And I've lived with that for the rest of my life. So if you want to pitch somebody and you're scared, what's the worst that can happen? Because as far as I know, right now it's COVID. Okay?
Right? Yes, it is.
If someone doesn't write back, it's not that bad.
It's not. Awesome. So just keep going at it. That's why I remember I said this before. I said, if you don't speak up, nobody is going to know that you exist. If you have a business, you heard it, now we have an idea how to pitch your business in a way that can attract the people that you're selling to. Thank you for that. And also, do not let rejection keep you down, because you know what? Go at it even harder with revenge, because
Right.
You are in there to succeed. If that person doesn't take you, is their loss, because some other person is waiting to pick you up. Some other person is waiting for you to come on their reality show.
Exactly.
Someone other person is waiting for that business. And just, if somebody has what you need, go into their inbox. Just keep stalking them until they're like, you know what? I don't want you to stalk me anymore. I'm done with you. Or else they'll give you what you want. They'll be like, this one keeps coming. You know what? Let's just give them what they want. And that way they'll stop bugging me, right? I'm sure you've experienced that before. So thank you for that. So if you want something, look for where it is. Google, like she said. Go for it and you will get it. As long as you don't want to drive through miracle overnight, it's going to eventually happen. And thank you so much. I see that each time you talk about your parents, it's very emotional. So thank you for being you. Thank you for sharing, even with emotions that it brings to you. I'm so sorry for your loss again. And we have a question for Dr. Francis. Karina, what is the biggest reason you didn't quit while waiting for your business to be successful?
Which one?
Maybe all of them?
Well, so the Hang-O-Matic is my, that's our biggest baby, our biggest business, right? Because it was my husband's invention. So my husband actually physically made a physical product. And the Hang-O-Matic is a 6-foot tape measure that levels and marks the wall at the same time. So I'll give you my pitch. I think you would agree that picture hanging is really difficult. having to hold a tape measure and a level in two hands. You still need a pencil to mark that wall. And so it's very difficult to hang a picture straight the first time. Well, the hang-o-matic will measure, level, and mark the wall at the same time. Like, who wouldn't want it? That was the thinking in our minds, because it's the only tape measure in the entire world that has a level and marks the wall. There's no other tape measure that does that.
Wow.
But my husband, who invented it, was worried that people were going to say no. And in 2010, we went to an As Seen on TV trade show where my husband was pitching to be a pitchman. You know those As Seen on TV commercials? All those people who say, and if you call in the next 10 minutes, we'll give you $9 off, right? He was pitching to be that person on a show called Pitchman season 2 when Billy, he was the mop guy. Anyway, he had just passed away. This was in 2010. And when we showed all these people the product, everyone said, oh, it's a good idea. But no, because at the time, all we had was a prototype.
Oh.
And so I can't begin to tell you how many people said no. One of my best friends to this day, we're friends, she said no. And I was like, how dare you say no? What do you want me to do? Lie? I don't think it's a good idea. I don't need it. I can hang a picture. And I'm like, but usually you tell something to a friend and they're like, oh, your hair looks so good. Right? So I thought maybe she'd do that. But she came out and was like, no. So the first store we got was Ace Hardware. I called that girl and I'm like, bitch, guess what? Got into Ace Hardware. You still don't like it?
Nice.
We got tons and tons of rejection. I met the Property Brothers. You know who they are?
Yeah, I watched the show.
I'm so excited to show them the product. And they're like, oh, I can hang a picture of my eyes closed. And I'm like, of course, asshole, you do. But it's the people who go to Bed Bath & Beyond and who go to Hobby Lobby who can't hang a picture.
Yeah.
So it's not for a handyman. It's not for a construction worker who's been in construction for 10 years. It's for us.
That's right.
The 90%. So even though we got this rejection, I really felt stronger to keep going and prove all these people wrong. Because I promise you, I've done that. There was a guy who wrote all the stores that he can help us get into, and then he changed his mind. And I still have that piece of paper, and I put it on my desk, and I pitched every single one of those stores. And you know what I did after? Check in, check in,
wow.
check in. What?
Wow.
And then he reached out to me. He's like, oh, I see you're in Home Depot. Do you think you can help me connect with the buyer? I'm sorry. You not remember having a conversation with me 4 years ago at the trade show when you offered to help and didn't?
Rejected me.
So take that rejection as fuel.
Right. Did you hear that?
You know what I'm saying?
Fuel it and go at it as never before. Because like you said, you checked off all the lists that he had rejected. And you know what? When we go into business too, and like you said, your best friend rejected you, but you guys are still friends. We go into business knowing that our family members or our friends are just going to, snap their fingers and support our businesses. but the
Yeah.
most rejection comes from them, not because they don't love us. Maybe they don't even understand, or
Right.
maybe, yeah, they don't understand our business, or maybe they're not just in the place where you are in terms of mindset. They don't see your vision. You see your vision. It's like your friend said, I don't see it, I don't think it's gonna work. But you didn't let that affect your friendship, which a lot of people will take it personally and be like, oh, you didn't buy from me, we're not going to be friends anymore. But yeah, I just like how you say go at it with more fuel and with more energy like never before, and you just be consistent and you will get there. Thank you. And Dr.
My,
Francis is like, wow, be rejection proof. Many thanks for inspiring. Yes.
my
So
husband and I, sorry to interrupt you, my husband and I sold our dream home that we built practically with our bare hands to fund the Hangomatic ourselves, because the first TV show we were on with 4 billionaires, one of them was Mark Zuckerberg's sister, said
uh,
no because they didn't like our aggression and
uh,
persistent personality.
oh, wow.
And then believe it, because after we got into more stores, I tweeted her and I tweeted the other 3 investors and I wrote at Home Depot, tag whatever their names were,
Mm-hmm.
at
Which I get.
Joanne, tag, oh yeah, what are you gonna do?
Nothing. You're getting there, right?
I mean, we sold our home. No one, I'm not, don't sell your home.
But do what you have to do to succeed. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes.
Yes.
We were willing and able to take the risk because we knew. And so if you ever go through the day of, I don't know if I should do that. I don't know if I should do that. If you ever have the thought of, I don't know if I should do that, you freaking should do it.
Do
That's
it.
what you should do.
Just do it. It's gonna come out great. It might take time, but it will come out great. And put everything in it. Selling her house or their house was their way of doing it and putting all the energy. Yours might be different. Yours might be money. Yours might be family. Whatever you have to do, all she's saying is that do it with everything that is in you and forget about the distraction around you. Thank you so much. I'll just read one comment from Benedette and then we're going to round up. If you depend on family and friends to grow your business, you will be disappointed and even end up falling out with them. Yes, it's true. It's true, falling out with them because we're just like, oh, my friend is going to buy this one. Oh, this one is going to promote my business. But you know what? There are people that will wait until they see that you're succeeding before they come on board. So don't start a business or don't try to create value because you want your family members to be part of it. They will wait until everything is succeeding and you are out there making it. That's when they're going to support you. Thank you for that comment, Benedict. And at this point, I'm just going to get Karina to give us closing, to motivate us to take action for mothers who are in business, how to balance it and encourage them. And you can also tell our viewers how to find you if they want to find you, because you've been really, really a big inspiration for us today. I'm sure some people might want to connect with you.
Sure. You can always email me. It's my name at hangomatic.com. It's one word. And my name is Karina Rabin. I also have my email address as last name, first name at Gmail, but the best way is hangomatic.com. I do have a sales pitch ebook that I've written. It's $75, and you would write your own pitch. If you really want me to write your pitch, I can. I'd have to see. I'd have to see what it's about because I'm so busy. Sometimes I don't want to write pitches, to be honest with you. They're very time consuming. It takes me 3 to 4 days, and then it takes me 5 hours to write a pitch
Wow.
because I also like to do research on your business to
Yeah.
see what other people say about your business. And then I end up finding a word here, a word here, a word here, and then create my own opening. My biggest value is in the opening because it's always, I think you would agree, it's frustrating to hang a picture straight.
That's right. Oh yeah, I was just while you were talking, I was looking at my pictures.
Right, and that's my first sentence, and here you go. I just gave you away my secret. That's
Right?
that's the opening line because I just hooked you,
Yeah, you
and
did.
then you go into what you do, and then you always have to have the call to action. What do you want this person to do? Right? Do you want them to give you a high five? Do you want them to write you back,
To
call you
connect,
back?
call
Do
you.
not ask for 10 minutes of their time.
Mm-hmm.
No one has 10 minutes. You just have to ask if they're available to connect or meet or whatever it is that you want. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I do. So that's what my template is. My template is that's what my book is more like a template that teaches you how to create your opening, why it should be written this way. I also give you the 5 days of the week because the first sentence will always say, I hope something. And it's different on every single day of the week.
Right.
That way, when the person reads it, it never sounds like a copy and paste, even though it is a copy and paste because it'll be the same thing. But it won't sound like it.
They don't have to know that, right?
They'll never know it was a copy paste.
Mm-hmm.
So now I have templates for Hangomatic, and I just change it. La 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 la, Michaels. La 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 la, Hobby Lobby, whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
same thing with my clients. It always changes. And then you're probably always messaging one person at a time.
Okay.
But do you ever message companies?
Sometimes, like I haven't really gone into companies a lot, but I've just been trying to get into that field right now.
Okay, so if you ever message companies, you would want to message every single person that works there
Oh, okay.
because you don't know who is going to be your cheerleader
There.
and love your message.
Okay.
Some people like, I love red wines. So if somebody pitched me chocolate, I'd be like, I don't like chocolate. But if they pitched my husband chocolate, he'd be like, oh yeah, I love dark chocolate. I
Uh,
like cheap candy, Twizzlers, red vines, Tootsie Rolls, Starburst. Like I want to hurt
Munch.
my right. So when you pitch, you just don't know who are you talking to. So that's why you want to pitch everybody.
Mm,
Because someone will reply because they like what you're saying.
right.
Like
Thank
that.
you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Sure.
It's been, yeah, Caroline said you need to connect with her or she needs to connect with you. So yes, she's definitely gonna connect with you. And she said she
So,
does pitch to companies. So she will want to connect with you. So thank you so much. All moms, you guys have heard her story. She has 4 businesses and 2 boys. And we all know how they say boys have all the energy in the world, but she is making it and she's doing very well. She's happy, she's fulfilled, and she's living the life that she wants to live. So if you are still wondering whether it's possible to have kids, own a business or businesses and still be happy, you have heard an inspiring story today. So don't give any excuses because you are your only excuse and you are the only thing that keeps you down. And before we leave, I'm gonna just ask you if you haven't ordered my book, The Fulfilled Mom. It's on pre-order and is going. A lot of people are ordering it. So please get your copy and it's going to give you tips and techniques on how to do your own business as a mom and live a life of abundance and be prosperous. It is possible, guys. Thank you, Karina. Thank you so much, viewers, for staying. It was a pleasure hanging out with you all. Bye.
thank you.
Thank you.